Okay, can you all see the screen? Is it being shared, students? What about textbook? Did you all get textbook or two next week? Okay. Then how are they doing it from banking? Abigail, same from the website? Okay, fine. Okay, we'll start, students. We'll start. See, two more concepts left. I told you all two more, not concepts, question. Two more types of questions left. Fine, we'll do that. Fine. Before doing that, you should understand this part. That is, look here, cost price, selling price, mark price. The difference between these three: listed price, list price, printed price. Okay. Then discount percent. Next one, discount percent, profit percent. Okay, discount percent, profit percent, GST in percentage. In GST, it can be IGST, CGST. CGST percentage, SGST percentage, or IGST. IGST percentage. See, these four are will always be in percentage. Remember, it is always in percentage, students. Discount, profit. Remember the term discount, profit, GST, IGST. Sometimes if they don't find the other name for percentage is rate. This is the other word you'll have to remember. So they'll tell you to find the discount rate or they'll tell you to find GST rate. The meaning of all this is percentage. GST rate meaning is percentage. Okay. So these are the different types, and I hope you all know all this. You all are aware of what is cost price, selling price, right? Mark price. But mark price has three names: list price, printed price, cost price, selling. I'll just quickly tell you what is the difference because there is a confusion between cost price and mark price. See, cost price is the original price of a phone. Let me take a phone, mobile phone. The cost price of mobile phone is 1,000, students, 1,000 rupees. And if you sell it to a customer, you can either give it discount. You can either give it a discount or you can increase the value. You can reduce it or increase the value. And when you sell it to the customer, when you increase 200 and you sell it to the customer, okay, now you sell it for 1,000 plus 200, students. He keeps a profit of 200. The one who's going to sell, so this is 1,200. Now this is the first person. First person is selling it to the second person. So what the second person does is he takes this 200 and he converts 1,200. He adds another 200. Okay, whatever you add extra, student, whatever we add extra, whatever we reduce comes under mark price. So there's no much difference. Just remember mark price is when you add anything extra. You can mark your own value. You can mark your value. Fine. You buy a phone for, or you buy a pen for rupees 10. Imagine you buy a pen for rupees 10 and you're going to sell it to your friend. You can mark it. So the cost price, the original value is the cost price. So the cost price is 10. Mark price, think you want to make another 5 rupees extra. Add plus 5. This is known as mark price, rupees 15. Okay. The meaning of MP, mark price, is you're going to mark it for a higher value or a lower value. Anything. Higher value or lower value. Or imagine rupees 10. You buy a biscuit packet for rupees 10. How long does a biscuit packet last for? Does it last for years? Hardly 1 or 2 weeks, right? All of you respond. Would hardly be for 1 or 2 weeks. So imagine you add the biscuit packet for 2 weeks, students. You know it is going to get spoiled. So definitely you will sell it for less price. So what you would do, you would reduce 3 rupees and you will mark it. You will sell it for rupees 7. This is how the actual transaction happens. All eatable items will get spoiled. Maximum 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that's it. Not more than that. So they'll reduce 3 rupees. They'll reduce 3 rupees and they'll sell it for rupees 7. This is known as mark price. This 10 is the cost price, actual cost price. So cost price is 10. Discount of rupees 3 is given. Discount of rupees 3 is given. Mark price. If direct discount is given, you can write mark price is equals to 10 minus 3, that is equals to 7. This is the difference between mark price, cost price. Mark price and cost price. Selling price, we know if you're selling it to someone, selling price. Then discount percent, profit percent. What do you do for discount percent? Do we add or subtract after finding discount? We need to subtract it. Profit meaning, what is profit, students? We need to add. Remember this. I'll give one example. I'll show you one example. Add. GST. What about GST, IGST? All this? Tell me. What do you do all this? Once you find, add or subtract? We need to add. This is the difference. Don't write anything. I'll give an example. Later you can do it. Is Anya online? Angel, Anya? Yeah, Angel. Why have we joined late, Angel? How many times to tell you? Turn on the video, Angel. Keep your video on. Turn it on. Be quick. Those who join late have to keep the videos on, students. Maximum 5 minutes. That's it. Keep the video on, Angel. Turn it on. Why have you joined late? You slept? You don't know class was there at 7? Yeah. Bro, always network issues. How is it possible? Whenever I ask network issues. See, you'll have to be excited, student. Maths is interesting subject. You'll have to attend on time. Each and every day I ask you all to join late. I'm sending you a message. As a teacher, that is not my duty. I shouldn't tell you all to join on time. You all should have that responsibility. Okay, keep it on, Angel. Is your video turned on? Turn it on. Others will join you. Even they might join late. Whoever joins late hereafter should keep the videos on and attend. Discount is given, profit, students. See, if you join late, you'll definitely miss these kind of concept. Then again, you have to go through the recording. It's waste of time. Okay, I'll give you all one question now. The cost price of an article. The cost price of article is rupees 100. Okay, this is shopkeeper has it. A shopkeeper has cost price. So what he does it, he marks it. He increases the value and he marks it. He wants to sell it for a profit of 20%, students. He wants to make a profit of 20%. What do you mean by profit of 20%? He should increase the value or decrease the value? Increase the value. See, for now, forget about this GST, IGST, all those things. This is your basic 8th and 9th standard concept. Fine. Along with this, they'll include GST and they'll give it for 10. That's it. So this is basic 8 and 9. You have to increase it. So after increasing, we'll mark it. That becomes the mark price. Remember this. Now the formula. Mark price is equal to, take this cost price, plus. The reason plus is trying to increase it. Plus, in bracket I'll write how much percent of cost price, how much percent he wants to increase? 20%. So this is the formula. 20% cost price. If I convert this into statement, what do I get? How do I write 20% students? 20 divided by what is off? Off meaning multiplication. Very good. Into 100. What is cost price value? Cost price is also 100. Yes, 100. So 100 plus, look here, these two gets cancelled. 20. What is 100 plus 20? 120. So how much did he mark it to? How much did he mark? 1. Yeah. So make a note of this formula, students. Make a note of this formula. Mark price. Right? No problem. You don't have to write it if you know how to write it. Next, the same shopkeeper. This is a mobile phone. A phone. So the value of phone will not decrease immediately. It will increase. Sometimes it might decrease. Phone. Okay. Instead of phone, I'll write it as, because it should be logical. Instead of phone, I'll write it as gold. The shopkeeper sells gold. All of you know the value of gold, right? The value of gold never decrease. Does it decrease or increase, students? It always increases. Very rarely it decreases. Okay, very rarely it decrease. So this is gold. Next, same shopkeeper has another product. The shopkeeper has all the electronic items, eatables, electronic item, everything will decrease. A mobile phone. So definitely after 1 year, the cost of mobile phone will reduce. The shopkeeper bought it for, the cost price was 1000. Kia, keep your video on. Kia, why are you joining late? What's the problem? Kia and Angel, I've been observing both of you will join late. You don't have to see the time, Kia. You're in 10th standard. You don't have to see 7 o'clock. No, I've been observing from past 1 week, both of you are joining late. Is it planned? Is it on time? What's the time now? Can you see here? Turn on the video, Kia. Whoever joins late have to keep the video on. Keep it on. Be quick. Okay. The shopkeeper sells. He bought it for 1000 students. Okay, 1000. Now he gives a discount. Just because the value is depreciating, getting reduced. Discount is equals to 20%. What will be the mark price? The formula is the same. What is the formula? Mark price is equals to, use the, should I add or subtract? Minus. What should I write? 20% off. How much should I minus? 20% off cost price. 20% off cost price. Is this clear? Understood how to use the formula? Cost price. 20% off cost price. And when you calculate, students, look here, I'll write. When you calculate 1000, don't try to do it right directly. Use this formula. This is board exam. Even for formula, you get marks. Use these formulas. 1000 minus, because I heard your sir has given direct formula, one or two direct formulas. Okay. For MCQ, that is fine, students. When you're solving 3-marker, 4-marker question, they'll expect you to do in step-by-step process. Next, 1000 minus 20 divided by 100 into 1000. Two zeros will get cancelled. So 1000 minus 20, you get 200. The first mark price is 800. This is the formula. This is the difference between cost price and mark price. So cost price is the actual value. They'll either increase it for profit or decrease it for discount. This was your basic 8th and ninth concept. Next. Yes, Eileen, keep your video on, Eileen. Are you there online? Turn on the video. Fed up of telling you all to join on time. Why are you joining late, Eileen? Yeah, keep it on. Angel, Eileen, and Kia. Next. I'll highlight the formula, students. Formulas like this. Now, the new concept which I told, which is left, is finding the value of X, students. Cost price will not be given. Look here, cost price will not be given. Mark price will be given. Mark price is 120 and the profit percent is equals to 20%. We need to find the cost price. This is the concept. What's the formula? There's only one formula. What is that we use? When mark price is given, mark price is equal to cost price plus how much, students? All of you will respond. 20% of cost price. Usually, if cost price is not given, what do we do? In mathematics, if any unknown value is not given, what do you take it as? Let cost price be X. They haven't given such question, but there are chances. Board exam, you can't predict. You get questions like this. Let cost price be X. Substitute here. What is mark price value given? What is mark price? 120 is equal to X plus, what's the value, student? How should I write it? 20 divided by 100 into, what is cost price? X. So how many times it goes? 0 and 0 gets cancelled. 2 ones are 2, 5s are. What's the equation left? X plus 1 by 5x, right? Or can I write X plus X by 5? Is it correct? All of you understood? Then if you want to find the value of X, students, we need to find the value of X from this equation. This is the second type of question where cost price will not be given. Second type of question. Take LCM. 5 is the LCM. How do you solve this question? All of you will respond. Multiply into 5. What is 5x plus 1x? Numerator, what do you get? 6x. 5 will get multiplied that side. 120 into 5 divided by, which will bring down 6. How many times it goes? 20. 20 into 5. Can you see? Just compare this. Are the values same? 100 and 100. We got 100. Is it clear, students? 100. Okay. So in 10th standard, they'll ask you a question like this: 100. On top of this, they'll tell you to add GST as GST. That's it. So GST is nothing but your profit loss discount. What have you studied in 8th and ninth? Profit loss discount plus GST topic. So you take cost price is equals to 100. If they tell GST 10%, so if you add GST here, 100 into 10 divided by 100. 100 and 100 gets cancelled. The GST amount is equals to rupees 10. This is how you find. And those who don't know this one, you would have learned in 8th and ninth. But now if you don't know how to solve, you'll get 0. The reason is they have asked us to find cost price here, not mark price. On cost price, you have to apply GST. Remember, on cost price, you apply GST. Any doubts in this? All of you have understood? That's all, students. Done? Okay. Now one more thing. Mark price is equals to 1000. GST is equals to 20%. For one last time, I'll teach all the calculation. We'll solve. Tomorrow I'm going to conduct test. That's the reason I'm teaching again. Tomorrow I'll be conducting a test. Mark price is 1000. GST is 20, students. First thing. Interstate. What do you mean by interstate? Same or different? I'll write not intrastate. What is intrastate? Different. Sorry. Same state. If it is same state, GST is split into how many parts, students? And SGST. I'll write it. CGST, SGST. So the formula for this, if you want to find GST is equal to half CGST or SGST, students. CGST or SGST. So from past 3-4 days, we were learning how to solve it. Now I'll just give formula. If you want, make a note, or you can write it directly. CGST or SGST is equal to half of GST. Half of. Half meaning is multiplication. So half into GST value, which basically means they are just 50%. If GST is 10%, half of it is 5% and 5%. Okay, this is the formula. If you want, make a note, or you can write it directly. CGST or SGST is half of GST. Okay, and GST is double. If you want to find GST, you add both CGST, SGST, that becomes GST. First concept. Next, interstate, and one more thing, IGST. What about IGST for intrastate? Do we calculate IGST? IGST is what? Or some in, if you refer some textbook, they are even given zero. Okay, so you all try to write it nil, students, nil or zero, anything. Next, interstate GST will be converted into IGST. It is a different state. It is a different state. I told you different state, two different CM, always a clash. So GST will be converted into IGST. Okay, IGST percentage is same. If GST is 10%, IGST also will be 10%. There is no reduction. They don't reduce anything. Okay, for interstate, we don't apply any CGST, SGST. So what will be the value of CGST and SGST? What's the answer? It should be. That's it. Only these two. What else we studied apart from this? Any other formula we studied? Liability. Liability. Those who were absent yesterday, I taught liability. No problem. I'll teach this once again. Concept of liability. See, liability is nothing but there are two concepts, students. Input GST. Okay, this is a separate one. Till the left hand side, that was different. Now liability, input GST and output GST. Input GST is what you call input tax credit. Input GST is also known as input tax credit. Remember, don't get confused. The words are same. Input tax credit. In short, they would tell you to calculate ITC, students. ITC stands for input tax credit. So what does that stand for? If there are two people, A and B, okay, an article costs rupees 1000 and GST is, imagine GST is 10. GST is rupees 10. Okay. So person A is selling it to B, students. A is selling it to B. The article is 1000. The GST is 10. How much B has to pay? How much B should pay? 1000 plus 10 is, or let me take 100. 1000 plus 100 is 1100. In this 1100, 100 is the GST. Who's paying this GST? Who has the product now? A or B? Who has the product? B has the product. So B will pay this GST. And for B, what is this GST called? Input tax, input GST. Or we also call it input. Whatever you're paying, students, whatever you're paying, you call input GST or input tax credit, ITC. And who is collecting this 1100? From B, who is collecting it? C is collecting, right? So this 100 becomes what for A? This 100 becomes output GST or output tax. You can call output GST output tax. This is the concept of input and output. When you pay, you call input. When you're collecting it from someone, you call it as output. Fine. Input and output GST. That's it. Now, liability. Liability is nothing but, see, there is a difference, students. Input is different, output tax is different. Liability is different. Liability is output minus input. Whatever you get. Example, output you got 100. Input you got 50. So the liability ITC, input tax credit. Liability will be 100 minus 50. Okay, 100 minus 50, the answer is rupees 50. This is liability formula. Output minus ITC, input tax credit. So input is what you're going to pay, output is what you're going to collect. So whatever you collect, from that you have to minus whatever you paid. Rupees 50 is the liability. Some questions they'll directly give you the word liability, some questions they don't give. They just give input and output. That's it. Okay, one more thing. Total amount. Whenever they mention amount or total amount, yes, is the video on? Kia's video is on. What about Angel? Yeah, turn it on. Angel and Island, is it on? Okay, fine. See, total amount or amount, students, amount. Remember, nothing to do with SGST, IGST or CGST. It is always GST. Whenever they tell the word total amount or just the word amount, it is mark price plus GST amount. Mark price plus GST. Okay, amount formula. For example, if mark price is 1000, I want you all to, all of you all to make a note of this formula, this one. It's the same concept. Mark price is 1000 and GST is equals to 20%. How do you calculate GST, students? Now tell me, what is the amount? How do you calculate GST amount? First tell me, how do you calculate GST amount? You take mark price into, sorry, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. You take 20%. Look here, 20%. What is GST? 20% of what? 20% of mark price. So that is nothing but 20 divided by 100 into MP. This is how we were doing, right? Multiplication. GST is amount, students. One is given in rupees and the other one is given in percentage. When one is given in rupees and percentage, divide it. Multiply. 20 divided by 100 into 1000. What's the value? 200 or 2000? 200, 200. 200. Two zeros should get cancelled. This is GST amount. Now I'll tell you how to calculate direct amount value, not GST, total amount. So for total amount, what's the formula given? All of you will respond. Mark price plus GST. How much is mark price? 200. How much is GST? 100. Answer 1000. You can split it into two parts. You can do the calculation. It depends on what they ask. If they ask you a GST amount, calculate separately, students. GST amount. See, calculate like this. Use this formula. Calculate separately. If they don't ask GST amount, they want you to find amount directly. Amount. So you can write the formula. You can do it directly. How do you write directly? Mark price plus GST is 20%. See, I'm just taking this and writing 20% of mark price. You can use one single formula. It's the same, I'm just combining it. If they ask you to find total value, mark price plus 20%. Mark price is 1000 plus 20%, write it in bracket of 1000. Two zeros gets cancelled, 1000 plus 200. See, we still get the same concept, 1200. because you are attending tuition there. In school your teacher might teach in different way, sir might teach in a different way, so you should get used to all these concepts, formulas. Remember, there's no single formula, students. There's no single formula concept. Each chapter takes at least two or three or even four formulas. 1200. Make a note. Just make this one total amount formula. Hey, students, any doubts? Did you understand all these concepts? Is it clear? Okay, last four questions left. See, there are four or five questions. We'll complete that. Tomorrow I'll conduct a test. Okay, so today I'll just extend the class for another 10-15 minutes. Take break. We'll continue after break. We'll take 5 minutes break. We'll continue at 7:40. Yes, students, shall we start? All of you online? Abigail, Angel, Cecilia, Helen, Delicia, all fine. Amy, Kia, Malavika, Bhargavi, and Anya. Okay, these are some of MCQ questions. I'll send this in the group. If you want, you can try it later, students. Okay, try this later. We'll solve these two questions. See, this fourth one is a different one, which I explained today. Look at the third one. All of you will respond. What is SGST paid by the customer? 15 or 500? What is SGST? 15. And what do we need to find here? Rate. What do you mean by rate? Very good. Rate percentage. If SGST is 15, what about GST value? I'll take mark price 500. What will be GST? Rupees? Very good. Double it. If SGST is 15, what about CGST, students? CGST also will be 15. What is GST? SGST plus CGST. 15 plus 15, 30. If you want to find percentage, how do you find percentage? Both are in rupees. What did I tell you? If they are rupees, you have to divide it. Which is smaller here? Mark price or GST? Take the smaller one divided by greater one into 100. What's the answer? 6%. Direct GST. If GST is 6%, if they have asked us to find SGST, students, what is CGST or SGST? If this is 6%, CGST and SGST would have been very good. CGST is 3, SGST. What if they ask IGST? No, not nil. Is anything mentioned here? Interstate, intrastate? Correct. Nil, nil. No, what you answered is right. The reason they mentioned SGST, right? SGST. Okay, if they mention the word SGST, which one is this? In same state or different state? Same state concept. Correct. For a same state, IGST would have been nil, students. Remember that if they ask IGST, if they give SGST value, and if they ask us to find IGST, and read if there is any word given, interstate, intrastate. If it is intrastate, same state, IGST will not be applicable. Next question. The selling price of an article, so the selling price of a shirt including GST. What's the value? Selling price including GST is how much? How much today? 800. If what is GST value? GST need to find the total price of the shirt. Total price is nothing but cost price or mark price. Okay, cost price or mark price. We need to find the total price. If total price is not given, what do you take? Let yes, let total price be X. So I gave you a formula. Whether it is cost price, total price, mark price, whatever we need to find. Look here, total price. Whatever we need to find is equals to let total price is equals to X. Selling price is equals to 800. GST is equals to 12%. Okay, just forget this, students. Now, what if cost price is equals to 100, GST is equals to 10%? How do you find selling price? If someone is buying from you, how much they have to pay? No, how much they need to pay us? They have to pay us cost price plus the GST amount, right? Yes. What is GST? Cost price plus what is GST? How much is GST? 10% of, yes, CP. 10% of CP. See, 10% of CP. So cost price plus 10% of CP. But supposed to write 100 divided by 100. Cost price. Yes, this is the formula. Make a note. Selling price is equals to cost price plus CGST. In this question, particular question, they can change this one. Cost price can be given as total price or mark price. Make a note of this. So in place of cost price, they can ask you to find the cost price, total price or mark price. Make a note of this formula. Don't calculate anything, just write this. Don't calculate. We'll use the same formula on the left hand side. Now use the same formula here. Selling price is equals to total price. What's the formula, students? Total price plus GST, right? What is selling price given? How much is selling price? 800. Total price we don't know X. Plus, how do you calculate GST? 12 divided by 100 into X. 12%. X plus, I'll write it as 12x, students. 12x divided by 100. You take LCM, find the value of X. That is the total price, X. Be quick. Take LCM, you get 100. If it goes to the other side, 100x plus 12x. You'll get it in decimal. You'll get this value in decimal. I've just changed the question, students. Cost price. Sometimes they'll tell you to find mark price. So this is the formula. So you'll get it in decimal. I'll do the calculation. Just ignore this. Look at 800 into 100 divided by 112. So 714.28. 714.28. So if you solve the value of x is 714.28 students. Is this clear? All of you understood? Look here, I've changed it. I'll tell you here. I'll read it again. Ignore this. The selling price of a shirt including GST. You'll get question. The selling price of a shirt including GST is 800. Then find the cost price. Instead of total price, we need to find the cost price. This is the question. The selling price of a shirt including GST is 800. If the GST is 12%, find the cost price. Okay. So what was the selling price value including GST, students? Including GST, what was the value? All of you respond. Including GST, the value was 800. Without GST, what was the actual cost price? If you exclude the GST, it is 714.28. So the actual cost price in a showroom, it was 714.28. On top of that, they have added 12% GST. And that is how they got his selling price. So this is an indirect question, not a direct one, indirect one. Fine. And in board exam, GST topic, you'll get it for 4 marks, 4 or 5 marks. 4 or 5 marks. In this 4 or 5, 1 mark is for MCQ. Same like a 9th standard students. Total MCQ will be for 15 marks. Total MCQ. And total you allow 27 chapters. Just a minute. Okay. Total there are 27 chapters in that 15 MCQ total for final exam. From GST, you'll definitely get one MCQ question. One MCQ question, and you'll either get one 3-marker question or one 4-marker question. So if they give one 3-marker MCQ and one MCQ question, it is for 4 marks. Okay, if not, they'll give you one 4-marker question and one MCQ question, 5 marks. This is how the marks is distributed for GST. Fine. Now this is the last concept, ITC, input tax credit concept. There are 4 questions. We'll do it. First one, I'll read the question. A shopkeeper in Mumbai buys a digital camera from a wholesaler in Pune for 20,000. He sells it to a consumer in Mumbai at a profit of 10%. So what are the different places, students? First tell me how many people are involved here. Shopkeeper buys it from whom? Wholesaler. So before shopkeeper there is wholesaler. Then after shopkeeper, whom does shopkeeper sell for? Consumer. Total how many people are there? 3. And yesterday I told you a concept. Liability is for whom? Out of these 3 paper, yes. Liability is for the person who's in between. Liability should have one person in front and one person behind, students. So liability will be only for the shopkeeper. Liability. Here they didn't ask us to find liability. I'll include even that question. So this is how we have to start. First thing, wholesaler, shopkeeper, consumer. Find the ITC. ITC is nothing but input tax. What do you mean by input tax for shopkeeper? What will be the input tax? The one which he pays or the one which he collects? Input meaning. Input meaning is pays. He pays to whom? He pays to whom? No. Shopkeeper pays to whom? Wholesaler. Because he's buying it from wholesaler, right? Wholesaler. So how will you calculate the first question? It is a direct question, right? Answer 1. The ITC for shopkeeper. Just write ITC. ITC is nothing but input tax, basically just the tax. So the shopkeeper is buying from Mumbai, okay, digital camera, Mumbai and Pune. They are in the same state. So for same state, we use GST, students. It is not IGST or CGST, it is same state. Therefore, right, mark price is equals to, okay, cost price is equals to 20,000 and GST Input tax. If you want to find GST, that is GST is equals to 18%. Remember, GST is fixed by government. You read the entire question. In the last line, you'll have the GST rate. GST will be same for all the people. 18% for wholesaler, even for shopkeeper 18%, even for consumer 18% GST value. That will not change. Next, input tax credit should be in amount, students. So ITC, input tax credit, is equals to, how do you find input tax credit? 18% of 20,000. 18 divided by 100 into 20,000. Two zeros gets cancelled. What's the answer, students? 600, right? Let's complete this. Rupees 3,600. This is the input tax credit for the shopkeeper. Basically, he's paying this to the from the one he buys. He bought it from the wholesaler. So 3,600 is the ITC, input tax credit. ITC for shopkeeper is the input. All of you completed this? Done? First part. So read the second part, students. What is given? Don't get confused. The amount of CGST, SGST paid by the shopkeeper to the central. Still, if there is confusion, look at. For whom is the shopkeeper selling this? This shopkeeper is selling it to whom? Consumer. Where is consumer? In which state? Is he in Mumbai or Pune? Same, is in Mumbai, right? Which means Mumbai, Pune, and Mumbai, all three are in same state. If it is same state, intrastate, right? Just because intrastate, that is the reason they have told us to calculate what? GST and yeah. Basically, find GST split into two parts. That's it. That's the concept. Now, before that, he sells it to the consumer in Mumbai. He sells it. So, what is the cost price? Actual cost price of the product? What's the actual price? 20, no, no, not 23,000. Actual cost price is. Remember, this tax we don't add to. Yesterday, that was a mistake what I taught. Don't add this 23,000. Just keep it as 20,000. Original cost price is 20,000. And what's the profit he keeps on top of this? Profit percent is percent. So what will be the selling price for the consumer? What will be the selling price? Yes. How do you calculate that selling price, students? Cost price plus how much percent? 10% of cost price. Kia, you can calculate it separately. Kia, you can calculate 2,000 and you can also add it later. 20,000 plus 2,000. Okay, you can do it like that, students. So what will be the selling price? Cost price is 20,000 plus 10 divided by 100 into 20,000. Two zeros gets cancelled. How much is 20,000 plus 2,000? 22,000. Now, who's buying this? Who's buying it for 22,000? Who's buying? Consumer, right? Yes, right. For consumer. Write the word for consumer. This is the one. 22,000. Did we add the GST here? Or we have to add it? Did we add or we have to add GST? Yeah. Where did we add GST? We didn't add, right? For consumer, did we add GST anywhere? No. Here, the previous GST was for shopkeeper, not consumer. Okay, now add GST amount, students. Add GST. How much is GST? GST is fixed. How do you find GST amount? 22,000 in 18 divided by 100. Find the GST for consumer. See, I've given a clear picture. From shopkeeper, he sells it at 10% profit, 22,000. On 22,000, add this GST. 18 into 220. 3,960. Okay, write it. All of you got 3,960? Rupees 3,960, students. Rupees 3,960. So go through once again. Just ignore this second. You just go through what I've written. Just because shopkeeper was given, I wrote shopkeeper. Next is consumer. For consumer, do the calculation. GST is 3,960. Now I'll teach you liability. From this, I'll teach you all what is liability. Angel Island, did you all understand? Malavika, Sicila. Okay, what about Delicia? Is Delicia online? Anya, Delicia. Fine, students. Simple. Just to look, it is kind of tricky. Now, before doing the second one, before going to liability and the second one, tell me this third one. What is the third? Read the question, all of you. The total amount paid by. What is total amount? I've told you all. What's the formula? All of you tell me. Mark price plus GST, right? How much did the consumer pay? You can write it as for consumer, the mark price is 20. Sorry, cost price. What is the total cost price for the consumer, students? Total cost price is after the profit 22,000, right? 22,000. 22,000 plus what is the GST is paid? 3,000. Yeah, 22,000 plus 3,960. This is the third answer. 25,960. Write this. I've sent this pic in the group. Yesterday I sent it. Write this answer and go through this, students. Mark price plus GST. So the consumer is basically paying 25,960. That's it. 25,960. Okay, now comes the concept of liability. The second question is a liability concept, students. Liability. Usually they'll give you find the liability of shopkeeper. They'll either tell you to find liability of shopkeeper, if not the amount of CGST, SGST paid by the shopkeeper. Just ignore this. The amount of tax, GST paid by the shopkeeper to the central and state government. Okay, the amount of liability paid. The amount of liability paid. See, just to confuse, they have asked CGST, SGST. I'll tell you later what the CGST and SGST is. Remember this question, the amount of liability paid by the shopkeeper to the central government. And I told you all, whoever lies in between, the wholesaler is in between shopkeeper and consumer. He is the one who's going to play liability, students. Now tell me the liability formula. What is liability formula? Output GST minus. Okay. What is the output GST for shopkeeper? What do you mean by output? He is collecting or is he paying? From whom is he collecting? From whom is he collecting? From consumer. Consumer or customer, anyone. Here it's given consumer or basically customer. How much is he collecting, students? How much is he collecting? 3,000. See, this 3,960 is what the consumer paid, right? Minus input. Input is what he paid. How much did the shopkeeper pay? GST. Look at the solution. How much? You go 3,600. So what is the liability? 360. Liability is nothing but total GST amount. This is the concept. So the amount paid by the shopkeeper to the central and state government. I'll tell you what is that. First complete this. Liability or GST. If GST is, what is the total GST paid, students? 360. If GST is 360, how much did he pay for SGST and CGST? How much is that? 180, and this is the cost. Now I'll erase this question. This is the answer you get. So it is basically a liability question. Instead of giving the word liability, they have given CGST and SGST. So he's paid rupees 180 and 180. 180 to the CGST, 180 to the central, 180 to the state. This is liability concept. In board exam, they will directly give you all. They won't confuse the students. They'll directly give the amount of liability paid. Yes, Kia. Okay. No, what did I tell you 10-15 minutes back where you were listening? I told one they'll give it for 4 to 5 marks. 1 mark is MCQ, the other one will be for 3 or 4 marks. right? 3 or 4 marks. And what you told is right here. It will be in optional. Optional in the sense which section? Section A or section B? Section B. I'll explain, students. I'll tell all this. Another 5 minutes. Today, just because tomorrow is holiday, you'll have school tomorrow or is it holiday? Okay. Another 5 or 10 minutes. I'll just show you the question. You'll have an so you'll understand how they said. All of you have completed this. Done. Response, students. Okay. See, they won't give all this. This is how they'll ask. The amount of liability paid by the shopkeeper or the liability paid by the shopkeeper. This is how you calculate liability concept. And remember, most important part, liability will be for the middle person, students, middle one. Okay, whoever is in between, for them liability. That's it. Now, look here. I made you all solve few tough questions. Few tough. I'll show you the board exam question. Question boards. Okay, this is board exam question, students. Can you see here section A? It is same like a ninth standard. All of you are aware of the exam paper, how they said ninth standard. Section A, section B. Which one is compulsory, student? Which main is compulsory? Section A is compulsory. Section A you get for 40 marks. Okay, this is board exam, section A. In section A, you will have MCQ question. MCQ is for 15. Another 3 questions. You'll have 2 or 3 minutes. That is for 25 marks. Look at this. All of you tell me the answer. The mark price of refrigerator is how much? 12,000. And GST paid by customer is? Okay, mark price is equals to 12,000. And what is customer? Is customer paying in rupees or percentage? Rupees. If both are in rupees, how do you solve, students? Each GST. Yes, very good. Which one you divide? GST divided by R. See, look at the way they ask the question. The rate. What did I tell you? Whenever rate is given, percentage. All the options are there in percentage, right? And in the beginning, I told you all when both are in rupees. Look here, both are in rupees. When both are rupees, what you do? We divide. 2160 divided by 12,000 into 100. You can easily solve even the board exam. This is board exam question paper. You can just check 2026. Look how simple they have given. It is not simple just because we have learnt all this, it would look simple. Those who don't know the concepts, they'll struggle. They won't know how to solve. Add, they'll get confused whether to multiply or divide. So 3 zeros gets cancelled. 216 divided by 12. Answer is 18%. Which option? Option. How long did it take? Hardly 20 seconds, 20 or 30 seconds to complete. Right? Yeah, all this is not right. For steps, they don't give marks, students. Remember MCQ, they don't give. You could have directly written like this. 216 divided by 120000 into 100. Just cancel it out. You would have got 18%. Clear? One MCQ question, students, you can't skip that. Next one. In section B. Look here. Question 2. You'll have one compulsory question which is not given. Can you see section B? How many mains you'll have to attempt? How many mains? 4 mains. Now here, this is what you told, right? Yes. All of you are there on line. Now look at this student. Section B, any four, any four. See, such a simple one. You'll be able to solve all this question. Such a simple question. The cost price of the TV is how much? Cost price is 20,000. This is given for 3 marks. If it is tough question, you can skip this main. Total how many mains we have? You'll have question 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Total how many mains are there? Total 7. Out of 7, how much you have to attempt? 4. So it is your choice. If you want, if you feel GST is tough question, you can skip 4th main. You can attempt the 5th main. You can attempt 6, 7, 8. This is known as optional question, students. But usually GST, whatever I teach, definitely you will be able to solve. You're not supposed to skip GST. There are tougher chapters, volume and other chapters. That one you all can skip. Now look at this. We'll solve. Cost price is 20. And the shopkeeper marked it for how much? 24,000. He sells it to customer for discount. What is the discount percentage given? 10%. So what will be the cost price after discount, students? How much you have to reduce? What is the discount amount? Yes, what is the discount amount given? How do you find discount amount? 10 divided by 100 into 24,000, or 24,000 into 10 divided by 100. One is given in rupees, other one is given in percentage. So multiply it. 10 divided by 100 into 24. What's the answer? 2,000. Can you see here? Discounted price of TV set. Oh no, this is discounted. What will be the price after discount? Discounted price. Not plus. Not plus. For discount, what do you do? Minus. Yes. 1,400. 21,600. The answer is 21,600. On top of this, what is given? The amount paid by the customer to clear the bill. What do you mean by amount, students? Amount is what? Mark price plus GST. On which one you have to add GST? On which one? 21,100. What's the GST given? 12%. And here, just to confuse, they've given intrastate. It doesn't matter. Intrastate doesn't matter here. You have to find just the GST amount. So the amount will be 21,600 plus 12% of 21,600. This is how you calculate. You calculate this, you'll get the answer for the amount. 3 marks question. Amount paid by the customer. And I told you GST will always be on the last line. If you just read everything, last line will have GST 12%. So students will get confused here. Discounted price of the TV. They didn't ask us the discount price. Discounted price is after you reduce it, students. 24,000 minus 2,400. Okay, they didn't ask us the discount amount. They've asked discount price of the TV. 21,600. On top of that, you add 12% GST, you'll get the answer. Is it clear? All of you understood how to solve? These are the questions, students. So tomorrow I'll be conducting test. Ignore this. I'll give it for test. You try it. I'll be conducting at 12 o'clock, students. 12 to 1:30. I've told you all Saturdays it will either be revision or test. Every Saturday you'll have to attend at 12 o'clock. If you'll have school, I'll change the timing. If there's no school, it will be at 12 o'clock. Okay. So tomorrow I'll conduct entire GST, including MCQ, for 25 marks. 20 or 25 marks. Attend at 12 o'clock, all of you. Is it clear, students?